Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, yes, I'm in another hotel room. This is my 6th hotel room in 8 days. So I'm getting very used to being in hotel rooms, but I thought I'd cover some of the cruise news today before I start traveling back home to Canada. And we have a rather tragic story where a young man was just arrested in Nassau from a Carnival cruise ship. It all comes down to an event that happened with his friend on a shore excursion who was tragically killed, and he's been charged in the event. So in my first story, I have a gentleman, Darling, a young man who was on an ATV excursion. He went on a Carnival cruise with 4 of his friends, a boys trip, a guys getaway, and as young guys are going to do, even us old guys, will go out and do some things adventurous once in a while, and they went ATVing and about 1.5 miles away from the cruise terminal. They were driving the ATV, Darling was driving, the other gentleman was in the back when it rolled over on its side, and unfortunately the ATV landed on the passenger's neck and he passed away. And Darling has now been arrested and charged. Last time I looked, he was still in the Bahamas. I believe it's a $40,000 bail bond there. His family has started a GoFundMe page to cover these court costs. But yeah, it goes to show, apparently according to the statements that were made, they were driving the ATV recklessly. And of course, when you're young, you feel indestructible, and it might be the case of just a little too thinking you can handle these ATVs. They can flip so easy before you know it. So you have to be very, very careful with them. I see them on ATV excursions, people running into the woods, running into barriers all the time because they just completely lose control of it because they're not used to driving them. And yeah. Tragic story there. I'll fill you in on more as we find out more in the future. Also, we had Princess Cruise Lines. Regal Princess was on a transatlantic up to 31 days. There were 2 different versions, a 31-day and a shorter version, all the way to Galveston, Texas. Well, it already had a fire in the engine room during the current cruise where it was extinguished very, very quickly, and it seemed to be everything was sailing normal after that. But then passengers did note that leaving one of the stops, they did have a complete power failure. Now, it's not known if the 2 incidents are related. However, the Regal Princess has canceled her sailing that was supposed to leave yesterday on the 27th, the 7-day sailing, because it needed repairs. And they did give about 2 days notice to passengers. Now, the compensation being offered is, of course, your money back, 100% of your money back, as well as a 25% future cruise credit of the base fare, not of anything else you bought, like specialty dining, the drink package, Princess Plus, Princess Premier, the base package. And you have up until, I believe it was May 31st of 2026 to use that credit. But passengers, and they'd also, of course, refunded any shore excursions that you booked through the cruise line, and up to $200 to change your airline fees for non-refundable fees for that. However, passengers are still not happy because they say, look, Galveston is a long flight for some people. It's an expensive flight. We booked hotels there, and giving us 2 days notice and then compensating us 25% future cruise and only of the base fare is not compensation enough. it's that age-old debate. How much is enough compensation for some of these, things that happen? This is, again, it's a technical issue. It's something that is out of their control. Did it relate to the fire? Perhaps. Maybe that's why they need to cancel this entire cruise. No update on how long this will really take, and perhaps the next sailing, another 7-day sailing, will be in jeopardy as well. So if you are on the Regal Princess anytime soon, I'd keep a close ear and be contacting my travel agent or a cruise line to find out exactly what's going on. You probably won't find out until 2 or 3 days before your cruise, if that one ends up getting canceled as well. Let me know in that comment down below. Do you think 25% future cruise credit plus your money back is enough for a cancellation only 2 days before you're sailing? Many people will say, no, it's not. Next, we also have the Cayman Islands are trying to have more overnight stops from the cruise lines. And the way they're thinking on enticing the cruise lines to have these overnight stops is very simple. They're thinking on changing the regulations that cruise ships have when they're in port of casinos. And what I mean by that is, normally when a cruise ship pulls into some of these ports, especially in the Caribbean, they are no longer allowed to run their stores or their casino. Well, if they suspend the casino, problem for the cruise lines, then the cruise lines will still be able to run their casinos and stores in the evening, while people can still go ashore and enjoy the dining and excursions and things that might be available in the Cayman Islands, especially in Georgetown. So that is something that they are tempting the cruise lines with. Not sure yet if it's going to go through, and I'm wondering, do you think that would actually entice people to go ashore more? And the cruise lines don't lose any money in their ships for the gambling, because it can still happen. Because I don't know too many people who actually go ashore in the Caribbean and look for a casino to gamble. They'd rather probably gamble on their own cruise ship, even though the odds are still horrible about winning. Just simply horrible. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think? Do you think that 2-day thing is compensation enough? If your cruise is canceled, 25% future cruise credit? Or how about going on a shore excursion with your friend and bam, a terrible accident happens? Were you fooling around a little bit too much? Were you driving a little too fast? Maybe a little too reckless? Maybe. And not only now do you have to live with that, your friends passing away, you've now been charged and arrested in a foreign country for death. That is definitely not a good situation at all. Well, let me know in the comments down below, and until next time, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.